Aloha YouTube. How is everybody doing today? My name is David Yansen. Welcome to my channel. Today is September what is today? The 26th, Saturday, 2020. And we are looking at my Fidelity account today. If you have seen my previous videos, you know that I have a video that I decided to switch to Fidelity. At one time I had two accounts within M1 Finance, and I decided to move those one of those accounts, not my Roth IRA, just one of those accounts. I decided to move to Fidelity. And the reason mainly why I decided to do it is I just feel like I kind of outgrown M1 Finance with its one time a day trading. Um, Slumpy September, as I've been saying in my previous videos, has me wanting to buy the dips more, which is really what I try to do. And M1 Finance doesn't allow you to do that. Now, my Roth IRA, the way it was set up, and that plan is kind of starting to go out of the window, the way that the stock market has been this month. But the way I had it set up was those companies would rarely dip, so I really wouldn't have to pay that much attention to them. I could just buy on the ex-dividend date or before the ex-dividend date to make sure that I got paid the dividend. Because both of these accounts are dividend growth accounts. But the way that Apple has fallen, it would have been nice to make a buy in the middle of the day when it dropped down to, I think it was 105 at one time, but by the time with M1 Finance I was able to get my trade in, it was already back to 110. So, and if you try to dollar cost average like I do, dollar cost average down anyway, you would really like to be able to get that that lowest price. So, but with the split with Apple, it's not that significant. And some of my other holdings in my Roth IRA haven't really fallen that much to where I feel like I need to. They've only fallen like a few cents, throughout the week and stuff like that. So if you look at it all time throughout the trading week, so it's not that big of a deal with my Roth IRA. And I do have some ETFs in there too, which, I don't contribute to them a lot. I do more to my individual holdings. So it's not that big of a deal. But if the market keeps falling throughout the rest of this year, which is very possible that it could happen, then then I might want to move my Roth IRA too. But I wouldn't be surprised if M1 Finance does allow for multiple trades throughout the day eventually. I did like the discipline and the accountability that the brokerage does give you with that one trading window, because you don't have to worry so much about FOMO, fear of missing out. You place your order, it goes in at that time, and if the stock, if you happen to notice in the day, it falls in the day or grows up a whole lot, you're not panic buying or panic selling. You can kind of stick to a disciplined strategy. And I like that at the beginning. I'm still a new investor. I've still only been doing this for about 14, 15 months. And so I like that about M1 Finance. I'm glad that they were the first one that didn't charge any fees and had fractional shares. That's why I originally chose them. But for my individual accounts with some of my holdings that I have, just looking at it here, some of them, they dip not a lot throughout the day, but they dip enough throughout the day, or they start out high and then they drop down to where I want to make a buy right then. And one of those is AbbVie, which I did on Friday. AbbVie had been falling not a whole lot throughout this trading week, but it did drop down to 85, and I did place a limit order for 2 shares at 85.80, and I was able to get that. Which with M1 Finance I wouldn't have been able to do that. So same thing with Tesla. Tesla, I had to re-add them to Fidelity here because I only owned a fractional share of Tesla, and those get liquidated when you transfer to a new brokerage. I talk about that in another video. I was able to add them with the price at $398, which is lower than what I originally had them at, which was a little over $440, I believe, or $430 originally at one point. And I still made money with them. When they liquidated my Tesla to give me the money into Fidelity, it was over $200, and I had already sold $200 out originally to buy into Costco. I have videos on those too if you want to see them. So that's really the main reason why I switched to Fidelity. Otherwise, I would have just stayed with M1 Finance because I like the pies, I like the slices, I liked being able to organize all of my slices by name, utility, blue chips, technology, industrials, whatever you want. Place those holdings in there, and outside the pie, it tells you if you're up or down based on the year, based on the month, based on the week, quarter, whatever. I really, really like that. So, definite pro, just to quickly go into some of the pros and cons of Fidelity here. They are commission free, otherwise, I wouldn't have made the switch. And they do support fractional shares, and it's fractional shares on anything and everything pretty much. Where Charles Schwab, I read that they were only fractional shares for the S&P 500. So what if I want to do a mid cap or a small cap company fractional shares? At the time that I had read that, you weren't allowed to do that with Charles Schwab. Where with Fidelity you could. And Fidelity you can switch out to another brokerage and they don't charge you a fee. And from what I understand from the guy that I spoke to on the phone, that's another thing that I like about Fidelity is they have customer service that you can talk to on the phone. There is a wait, as there's a wait on a lot of things nowadays because some people aren't working and some people were laid off and some people are working from home and maybe the Wi-Fi or internet isn't as fast at home as it was at the office. So there was a wait, but the guy did tell me that they would reimburse me the fees that M1 Finance charges to leave their brokerage. So I'll be getting in touch with them about that this coming week. So the other thing that I do like about Fidelity here is this news and research tab. You have access to a lot of news, watch list, and all of these other market sectors. I like seeing this as well too. Once you hover over one, it just opens up all of them eventually. So, and I do like that. I do like that I'm looking at this one, and then those ones pop up, and I'm like, oh, I actually want to be over here because what I was looking for isn't in here. And for the most part, they all fall underneath this, but I couldn't find the watch list for a long time. But then when I hovered over another tab, I saw it under news and research, so I didn't have to click on every single one. So yes, a con is that the desktop, in my opinion, is kind of 2008-ish, 2009-ish. So it does need an update, but it's really not that bad. I mean, I'm relatively old anyway. I'm about to be 45, so I'm kind of used to it like that. But it doesn't have the simplicity of a Robinhood. It doesn't have the simplicity of even an M1 Finance, which is okay because I feel like I am on my next stage in my investment journey. So another thing that I like about it is that similar to Webull, I should say, which, by the way, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and feel free to share with your family and friends my channel and my videos if you find them informative. Thank you, everybody who has already subscribed to the channel. I give you a big mahalo. Just feel free to share the video if you find it informative. But closer to like Webull, and I do have links in the description if you want to sign up for any of those other brokerages to get free stocks. Webull has a little bit of a delay when you make your deposit to when they instantly give you the money. Fidelity is the same way. So I'm not sure if it's a 3-minute or a 4-minute delay, but I wanted to see how fast it was. I wanted to see if it was as fast as Robinhood, because Robinhood gives you the money like instantly. As soon as you say deposit, it is there in the next second. And with Fidelity, it's not that fast, but it did get there in the same day. I didn't pay attention to actually see how fast it got there, but it did show up the same day, and it was allowing me to use it to trade at that time. Once it's not technically settled, but they're saying it's settled because they're checking your account, they're seeing the money is there, and then they're just waiting for the brokerage and the bank to finish the transaction. So that I do like about it. Couple things that I don't like about this that I talked about with the website. The app needs help. The app, all of this that you see right here is in the app, but you've got to scroll up and down and you've got to scroll left to right. So that I don't care for because I like to see everything right there. So quickly, another thing that I don't like here is I did some buys on Friday to add to some of my positions. AbbVie is one of those that I wanted to add to. I bought the 2 shares. Originally from M1 Finance was transferred over these 3 shares. I don't know why, but it keeps them separate. Now, originally it was highlighted in yellow when the trade was made, and it said this is, when you see it in yellow, that's the one that was just done for the day. And it tells you what that current value is, what the quantity was, and what your cost basis was. But it didn't do that with Ecolab. With Ecolab, I bought another share, and it rolled over one share from M1 Finance, but it put it all together. It didn't separate it into two. This just whole thing was just yellow. So I'm not sure why it did it for Ecolab, but it didn't do it with the others. So with IBM and Johnson & Johnson and Pepsi that I added to, and then I bought into Nvidia again, and I bought into Tesla again, I'm going to see these ones that are doubled like this if it eventually combines it. I hope it combines it, because as I keep saying, I really don't like the scrolling. I just like, a quick shot, I guess. So those are kind of my pros and cons of Fidelity. As far as a review is concerned, if you want to see more features, there is a ton that Fidelity has going on with their website and even with the app. The app is basically just a scaled down mini version of the website here. If you want to see, just let me know. I will be more than happy to do more videos for you. As for my account, I'm sitting over $4,800. The $4,900 is taking into account $50 for my health savings account, which I can't use. I didn't find out that until later. But, there's a lot going on here with Fidelity. If you want to know more, let me know. I do have some cards listed here, too, if you want to see my previous videos. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Be safe and healthy. Mahalo and aloha.